come down to Vic Park and just placing a few of the sensors around. We've got a couple of cat balls up there and the REM pod, a couple of sensors, but this one turned off and has relit itself, so hello, is anyone there? And this one's going off now.
Put a K2 right in the middle.
Yep. Also got the spirit box, we'll give that a bit of a whirl in a minute.
That should not stay on.
Unless something's standing immediately in front of it constantly.
Okay. Rightio. Just turn it off again. You know, now I've got this off, I can actually see a dark shadow. Just towards a tree line.
I can see that too.
I'm not sure exactly what it is. I'll have a look in a sec. Okay. Got it definitely on auto. It's actually, the shadow's moving that way. But even though it is like a park area, there's nobody walking through, because you'll be able to see the silhouette, but it's not.
You'll be able to hear them too.
Well, that's well, it pricked up my ears because I heard some strange sound, and I sort of thought, well, just wait a sec, what's that? Because it didn't sound like anything that was natural.
Paulson's car. Mind you, this time of night you won't get many vehicles at all, or people.
Okay, that's gone off now.
Hallelujah,
so
we've gone off.
That's good. Yeah, that's finally gone off, so we'll see what happens. So this area here in Big Park at Ballarat, it's a massive big park area. It's probably around about 3 square kilometres all the way through. It's lots of tracks, lots of different fields and areas. It's an interesting place because when I first came to Ballarat, I used to have to drive down Sturt Street, which is the main highway or main road through the centre of Ballarat, past Big Park, and every time I drove past in the Big Park area, I would sense, and I would sometimes actually see or think I was visualising tents in this parkland, and I could never figure out why. A little bit later, once I got used to Ballarat, found out a little bit about the history, I realised that this whole area here was part of the old mining area. They had a massive tent city, and it was a really interesting place. They had some mine shafts around the back of Vic Park, which they tried mining for gold and got a little bit out of. And some of the mine shafts actually stretch out to the western and eastern side of the park, to where there's now housing estates. And yeah, it's just an interesting area, and each time we've come into the parkland, it's so huge. You go to different areas and you pick up and sense different things. And this particular area here, this rotunda, I've never actually stopped at, and I've wanted to. And having a little bit of a look at the history of this parkland, firstly it was used by the old miners. So when the settlers came here looking for gold, the old miners put up a tent city, and a lot of tents were placed here, using this area to live, brought the families out here as well, and did a little bit of mining in this area. And of course we've got Sovereign Hill not too far away, the Eureka Stockade area is not all that far away as well. Yeah, it's just a fascinating area for the old mining type of thing. But then when you go into the war era, I think it was the First World War and definitely the Second World War, this area here actually, it's reported that there was up to 8,000 armed force personnel here on this land, and they had their accommodation here, or tents, and a little army hospital as well. And I haven't researched into the full history of all of that, or why they were here in Ballarat, whether it was a training ground or something like that. I know the airport itself, which isn't too far from here, there's a very small airport. They use that area for training for the Air Force and Army personnel as well. So there's a little bit of that history here. But they reckon that there's up to, at one point, 8,000 people here in this parkland, or around this parkland. And so this particular rotunda here, as I said, always wanted to stop at, just to try and feel and sense if there was anything about. A little bit further into the back of the park here, big park area here, there is a mullah-keep, and we've got a lot of activity through K2, through EVPs, and all sorts of spiritual activity out that end. This area here is like first for us tonight, so we're having a bit of a quick stop over just to see what we can get. We brought with us, we've got a K2 meter, we've got a couple of sensors, they're motion sensors, and we've also got a proximity pod and a couple of cat balls as well we've got up on the walls of the rotunda. Now I'm hoping, we're going to ask for any spirit, if there's any spirit around that are connected to the war era or to the mining era, or if you're just a local spirit, if you'd like to just walk into this rotunda and set off one of the light meters that we've got here, just to show that you're here. We'd be very pleased if you do that, and we come with great respect. We know there's a lot of history here. Just going to ring a bell, just to invite you here. So if there's anyone around who can hear this, hear the bell, come towards the bell, come towards me, come towards the meters, come towards Jess with the camera and play with the camera again if you like.
Oh, it's already switched off once.
Oh, well, there you go. That's a good start.
Again, the screen went black, but still recording.
Oh, well, there you go. That's interesting.
And this has never happened with
And
the camera,
there's
ever.
nothing wrong with the camera. It was never played up before.
Tonight has been the only time that this has happened with the screen going black, but still recording.
We must have some mischievous spirit around trying to play games with us. Keep playing with us. Come and turn the meters on. Come and have a go for light sensors. If there's any nurses here, they're still around from the war era, come forward, come and join us. We come with lots of respect for you guys. I work in a hospital too, so I know what it was like caring for people. I have great respect for you. If we've got any army personnel that were injured, or any army personnel at all, any of the old miners going back to the 1800s, if there's any spirit here at all, come forward. We're only here for a very, very short while. Let's see if you can set something off for us, just to show that you're here.
Did you maybe want to walk into the rotunda and come and join us?
I'm getting like a number 3, but I don't know if it's, I feel like it's 3 o'clock. So, whether that's an indication that there's more activity in the wee hours of the morning here, I'm not too sure, but it's shown at 3. But if it's going to be 3 o'clock, it's going to have to wait till it's summer months, because we're not going to freeze our backsides off.
No,
Not that
in the
it's
middle of
winter at
June.
the moment, so and it's rather chilly as it is, and we're rugged up. And we've come out just to see if we can communicate with you guys here. What about Aboriginals? Is there any Aboriginals here? Last time I came here I sensed a couple of Aboriginals. And this was at the back part of the parkland. Is there any in this part? Step forward and see if you can set some of the sensors off. Got some cat balls?
We mean no disrespect, we're here being respectfully.
Got a light sensor down there. Can come and knock the cat balls off. Got a proximity pod. Another cat ball over